Yeah, all right, we'll watch the new fucking Gravel Capitalism versus Freedom video.
Pervert.
Yeah, and if you still love OGs, then play this.
If you're an American, you've probably
Zephyr
heard this
Teachout.
one before. Capitalism means freedom. With the liberty of the free market, the thinking goes, individuals are empowered to make their own decisions. Sounds good, right? If you buy into this logic, then any alternative with more role for the public seems oppressive and tyrannical. One where other people make all the decisions for you. Appealing in theory. In practice, not true.
Here, let's keep playing this.
Our economy isn't about freedom at all. Just the opposite. American capitalism today is defined by an overwhelming lack of freedom for the vast majority of people and incredible dictatorial power.
Melon Man is coming at fucking 6 to 6:30, okay? Stop fucking asking me when Melon is coming. I should have never told you he was coming on, and I should have just been like, here's a special guest. There you go. Y'all fucking annoying as shit.
For a few people at the very top. That's because we have allowed big corporate monopolies to take over a lot of the work of government and replace public institutions with private for-profit ones. They have gobbled up small and medium-sized businesses so they can set all the terms. You hear a lot about the freedom to choose.
Damn. Chavo Travis says this Trump guy is a big goofy. Wow. That's bold, dude. You better watch out. You're gonna get banned for fucking take that hot.
But what does that freedom really mean? Sure, we can choose between different eyeglass companies until we learn they're all owned by the same company behind the scenes. We can choose between Budweiser, Skoal, or Beck's Beer, but they're all owned by the same company too. And when it comes to work, where most people spend most of their time, people don't have much freedom at all. Despite claims that workers freely enter into a contract to sell their labor, there's no free choice between working and not working. In a country like ours, where 40% of people can't scrape together $400 in an emergency, the reality is that you either work or you starve. You don't have several months to take time off and carefully choose a good employer. In order to survive, people submit to working menial, unrewarding jobs for little pay, no security, and bad benefits. And once they're on the job, that lack of freedom only gets worse. When we go to work, we check our hard-won rights at the door, and your employers rule over you night and day. Big corporations like Amazon punish workers for speaking out. Many corporations are now spying on workers' political activities. They intrude into people's private lives, monitor their social media, and regulate their breaks. In poultry plants across the country, workers are penalized for simply using the bathroom, to the point that they wear adult diapers and avoid drinking water so as to keep working.
What do you mean? That's the free market, lady. Zephyr Teachout. I hope with that kind of mentality, you're not teaching our kids anything. That's how it's supposed to be. Work, you peasants. Work or die.
That's not freedom. And when the boss decides to fire you, there's no...
I'm sorry. What you fail to recognize is they have the liberty to leave that job and go to another one. Or they will also probably have similar restrictions.
Due process.
Or the freedom to die, of course.
Like a feudal lord, he can fire and punish workers at will. In practice, American workplaces are like private governments, where the freedoms we associate with democracy don't exist. When we clock in, we become subjects, not citizens. Without anti-monopoly regulations to restrict their size, or labor unions to contest their power over employees, corporations and their wealthy CEOs have as much power over ordinary people as any government agency, if not more. Despite the lie that our market is free, most industries are dominated by a few massive firms. 2 corporations control office supplies. 5 corporations control food. 2 corporations dominate retail. 4 corporations control home internet. 1 corporation dominates books. Instead of free competition, the status quo is monopoly control. Huge corporations set the terms and manage the economy from their perch at the top of the market, deciding who succeeds and who fails. When Facebook decides to promote a political agenda to benefit itself, who can stop them? When Amazon decides it doesn't like a particular book, that book can vanish from the place most everyone buys books. When Pfizer decides to raise insulin prices ahead of a shareholders meeting, it's done, and people die as a result. Every day, decisions that affect millions of people are made not by everyone in a democratic manner, but by unelected people who have profits and not the well-being of others in mind. That's the problem at the heart of our system. Elected officials are always expressing concern about government intrusion into our private lives. But they're happy to let corporations take advantage of us in ways that would be unconstitutional for any democratic government. The hard truth is that despite what you hear, the modern American economy is not about the freedom to choose. In job markets where you either get a job or you die, in workplaces where the boss is king, and in marketplaces dominated by huge abusive monopolies, you don't have much of a choice at all. I'm Zephyr Teachout, professor of law at Fordham Law School for the Gravel Institute.
It's a very good video. Gravel has really good shit. They do be having good videos, dude.
Big man, Hassan.
Capitalism for weird.
At 218, the ballot lists Kissinger and Haig as the options. Nice little Easter egg. Read the comments. Corporate tyranny is completely ignored in this country.
I love the system. I can now remove the tinfoil hat.
You stupid dumb commie, how could you support fascist socialism in America now that I have your attention? Poo-poo Piker, will you please VIP Jim Nona? Thanks, Hasta.